Hello and welcome to Wine Wizardry. Today we intend to teach you how to make rose wine. As you know, making each video in the field of winemaking takes days, and we aim to teach you how to make various wines and other beverages on this channel. So, if you enjoy our content, please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to support us. Making this wine is straightforward. Anyone can easily make it at home. This wine requires no special equipment or ingredients. For this video, I use approximately 3.5 kilograms of red grapes. In this stage, try to choose grapes that are clean without any damage, dirt, or dust. If your selected grapes have dirt or dust, make sure to wash them beforehand. Keep in mind that there might be natural yeast called pectin on the grape's surface, which exists if the grapes are not washed. If we wash the grapes, we should wait for them to dry completely. I used a transparent plastic container and I recommend you to do the same. Keep in mind that made blue or yellow plastic containers are used for storing chemicals. Next, we separate the grapes from the clusters. Having clusters during winemaking process won't cause any harm to your health, and it won't produce toxic methanol alcohol. If you don't have enough time and the volume of your wine is significant, you can keep the clusters. Having some grape clusters in the wine adds a slight taste. Some people who prefer a heavier taste can add a few empty clusters to their container, but personally I don't do that. We separate and discard damaged, moldy, or spoiled grapes and throw them away. During the winemaking process, we only use wooden or plastic containers. We need to wash all the equipment used in the wine production with hot water without any detergents beforehand, and wait for them to dry out completely. This action prevents our wine from getting moldy. As you see, I've separated the grapes from the clusters. In the next step, we start crushing the grapes. Since the grape seeds contain oil, never use a blender or other electrical tools. Breaking the grape seeds will release the oil into the wine and greatly increase the risk of mold formation. Therefore, we crush the grapes with clean and dry hands. Now, I use a wine hydrometer to estimate the sugar content of the solution. If you don't have access to this tool, it is not necessary to perform this step. Instead, taste a small amount of the solution to determine its sweetness. If your solution isn't sweet, add the necessary amount of sugar and mix the solution. The fermentation process is essentially the conversion of sugar into alcohol. But remember that yeast will die in alcohol concentration above 17%. Therefore, there is no point in overly sweetening the solution. As far as it tastes sweet, we are good to go. This line on the hydrometer predicts the alcohol content of the wine based on the sweetness level of the solution, assuming the fermentation has completed. This other line also determines the amount of sugar present in the solution. Well, let's continue. As you see in the video, the hydrometer tells me that under the best circumstances, this wine will have about 15% alcohol, which is the ideal amount for red wine. The initial sweetness level is also around 1.1, which is a very good number. Now, I'm going to close the container lid with an airlock on top of it. The airlock allows the gases produced from fermentation to escape the container while preventing air from entering it. If you don't have an airlock available, you can create one using a simple hose. To learn how to make an airlock, you can watch the video I have placed on the screen, or you can find the link in the description. If we have washed the grapes initially, we need to add yeast. I have explained the amount and the method of activating the yeast in a video that is placed on the screen. You can also find the link in the description. After pouring a small amount of water into the airlock, place the container in a dark location at room temperature, which is 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, for 7 days. The airlock will become active between 12 to 24 hours later, and it will remain active until the end of fermentation. If you don't have a dark place available to store the container, cover it with a thick cloth. After that, open the container once every 24 hours and mix the wine. Repeat this process for 3 days. Since my container didn't fit in the cabinet I had planned for due to its shape, I had to replace it. Today is the 3rd day, and as you can see, grape skins have surfaced on the liquid and the airlock is also active. Today is day 10, and as you can see, my raw wine is in the middle, most of the grape skins settled on the surface, and a portion at the bottom. Since I want my wine's color to be more reddish rather than pink, today on day 10, I'm separating the grape skins from the wine. Allowing the grape skins to contact the wine for a shorter period of time will result in a lighter color. Alternatively, the grape skins can be left in the wine until the end of fermentation, which results in traditional red wine. I will also teach you that through a separate video. I used a net basket with small holes to separate the grape skins from the wine. Initially, I mixed everything together. Then, I poured a portion of mixture into the basket and pressed it until the grape skins were completely dry. Then I repeat the process until my raw wine becoming entirely clear. Now I wash the container with hot water and let it dry. Afterwards, I return the raw wine into the container and let it rest for 20 days in a dark place at room temperature. Today is the 30th day. My red wine is ready to be transferred into bottles. Initially, I have placed the container at a higher level than the bottle very carefully and very slowly. As you can see, there is a very small portion of sedimentation at the bottom. In order to prevent this sedimented portion from getting transferred into the bottle, I have used a thin hose, connecting one end of the hose about a centimeter above the bottom of the hydrometer, as shown in the video. Then, I start siphoning process by a gentle suction on the other end of the hose. This is the part I didn't siphon, and I don't need it anymore. From 3.5 kilograms of grapes, I have made 2 liters of wine. Now it's time for final measurement. The hydrometer indicates that there is no sugar left in the wine, meaning that the fermentation process is complete. As a result, my wine now contains approximately 15% alcohol. It is now time for me to enjoy a glass of rose wine. I really love the color. Tastes fantastic. The combination of wine and chocolate is indeed a perfect recipe for happiness. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you had any questions, you can ask it in the comment section. Until the next video, goodbye.